Alrighty, we are back now for the premier finals here at our Philadelphia Challenger event. I'm Jonah Zwillinger. I'm here with Ben Dantowitz, and we have got what I think is the ideal matchup if we're looking for rallies. On the one side, we've got Finocchi and Modell, two incredible athletes. If you were just tuning in for the semifinal, you saw a full athletic display. And on the other side, we've got our victors of our other semifinal, Dan Abrams and Grant Laughlin. How you feeling about these teams, Ben?
I'm excited. Laughlin and Abrams had a really treacherous path. They had a really tight 3-game match against another strong defensive team, Bazinga, and you ask for it. You want rallies. Dan Abrams is another defensive specialist who, as he receives the first one from Finocchi, was just about to say is just as familiar. Last time we saw Finocchi Modell in a finals against Ravi Kandula, Dan Abrams, also a New Jersey native, has a lot of reps against these opponents.
That'll really help when you know what the touch you're going to get is.
Grant Laughlin not familiar with that ball, unfortunately. He drops it before even attempting to serve. Oh, no. Resettles.
Goes for a cut, and it hit the rim and spun a ton, but obviously not good. He'll go again.
Yeah, as far as archetypes go for these teams, you really have mirror images in Max Modell and Dan Abrams being really strong, defensively minded, clean players. Both of them can go off with serves like that.
That is insane! Max Modell starting off the finals with a bang, with a righty, making sure that Laughlin respects both hands.
We saw Modell doing that righty serve, getting some no-touch aces in the semifinal. Laughlin did not have the benefit of being able to do that. He had to play the other semifinal and doesn't have the scouting report that Max is
That's two!
Wow.
Back-to-back aces for Modell. It was the right and then the left.
And just as I try to introduce Modell as the defensive specialist, non-serving threat,
he goes absolutely crazy. Can he do it again? Not quite. Those first two serves so intimidating that actually Laughlin thought about playing that for a second.
Yeah, you'll play just about anything to get away from a second serve here.
Looks like he will not be punished for that transgression.
But on the other side of things, Laughlin and Finocchi, also very athletic defensive players, but both of them really scary serve-wise.
Well, here goes Abrams. There's a scary serve as it cuts nicely. Finocchi hits that right at Abrams, who gets a hand on it, kind of carries it and throws it the other way.
Dan Abrams, in his, I believe, first finals of the Spikeball Tour Series this year, so competitive. And you're going to hear it from him. He wants to raise the level of play for himself, not unlike some other players we've heard shouting at defensive touches earlier today, like Kyle Ackerman for one, but Finocchi here.
There he goes, the reverse, which absolutely demolishes Abrams. He went the other way. He just tried to react and call high because he knew that was his last option. Finocchi now with that confidence goes again, but that one clips front rim. Max and Gabe have 5 points, 3 of them off aces.
And Laughlin and Abrams have only 2 of their 3 points off of double faults. Ooh.
Looking to change that up with a nice serve, but not quite good enough to get Finocchi into much trouble at all. Modell with a nice gentle set, and Finocchi rips that one far away.
Yeah, really comfortable pull there for Gabe Finocchi. It was interesting to see Laughlin static up at the net there, not trying to slide and cover it.
Modell could go either way. He goes left, and Abrams flubs the touch. That gives Max an option here to do whatever he wants, and he puts it away nicely. The open-handed push with the left hand.
He wants a 4-point lead early game one. This is looking really similar to the note that Modell and Finocchi left off in game 3 of their semis.
Oh, that was close. This time he'll opt for the left. A nice clean cut that jams Laughlin up. Ooh. That will lip up and just over the shoulder of Gabe Finocchi, who cannot reach around his back and get that ball after it passes him.
Yeah, really comfortable push. Abrams trying to apply a bit of pressure and get back into this one.
That'll work. That's a good serve, but Modell with a beautiful set and Finocchi with an even better lefty pull, finding just the sliver of net necessary to get that ball out of Laughlin's grasp. Finocchi goes right and demolishes Abrams once again. These are two incredibly defensive players, and they are out serve-balling their opponents right now.
Yeah. They would hope that this applies enough pressure to get a defensive touch, but it's hard to get a defensive touch when your opponents don't receive the ball.
Wow. That ball had some good movement on it, but still too high. This time Gabe goes reverse and keeps it low enough, but Laughlin pops it up. Max Modell with the body. Not the best set from Finocchi, but Max recovers it. Laughlin with a chance. He swings hard, but Max pops it up. Finocchi with the set, and Modell with a clean put away. There it is again.
So smooth. Look at them cleaning up these touches here. Good off-net find from Laughlin, and Modell just squares that up and puts it away.
He was so ready for it. He just sat back. He just took it to the chest. He knew it was coming, and he delivered the beautiful body up on two separate occasions. That's textbook defensive work from Modell.
Already 10-4. Oh.
Big cut as well. Laughlin forced to dive. Abrams able to get it back on, but that's not enough to put the ball away. Abrams with a chance at this and drops a dime on the net, but Laughlin cannot quite spin it around.
Yeah, it's coming over his shoulder there. It's a really challenging angle to find the ball coming back, and he doesn't have time to get his feet to another place, so he's just got to make do. Another break.
Trying to build this impressive lead. Laughlin knows he's got to play this, take every chance he can get. Finocchi will run all the way for this and make the dive, but despite the effort, Modell can't quite find the gap. Here it is again.
Look at them get both their bodies really close to take up as much space as possible. Gives Grant very few options to hit the ball through the gap. You just have to hit it at them and hope they don't convert. Gets fortunate they're not able to get it back.
Big rip. You got the grunt as well to boot. But unfortunately, you can't just grunt your way back to an 11-11 tie when you're down 6 points. He'll try to jam Finocchi up to get the job done, and he will. Finocchi not quite able to get a sufficient touch, meaning that Laughlin can get that put away nicely. Yeah,
interesting shot selection here from Finocchi, trying to push it through the gap, and he just has nowhere to go, goes straight up off the pocket. Laughlin happy to eat that one up. Nice reverse cut.
Huge reverse cut. That one jumped quite a bit. Modell just stood there and watched it go by.
Oh, we're going to get a lovely perspective.
Jeez. Hits the right side of the net and it keeps going.
It defies physics. The side pocket there is trying to move it the other direction, and Laughlin has so much spin to pull it the other way. He does it again.
Does it again. Modell with the dive. He fully committed for that. Loses the hat in the process, but that ball not high enough.
A bit disappointing. Finocchi looked to have given up on his teammate. Wasn't there to maybe even try to tap on that next touch, but
yeah, and
I don't blame him. It's a hard point to stay in after you get virtually aced.
Exactly. And Modell's going to call for the timeout the moment he gets up off the ground. You've got Laughlin building some serving momentum. You've got, you just took a massive dive, got the wind knocked out of you on the ground. Take a sip of water, try to stop that momentum and maintain that lead. I mean, they had a 6-point lead not too long ago. Now it's been reduced to 3.
Yeah, you challenged Grant Laughlin. You said he couldn't grunt his way to an 11-11 tie, but he's just going to brute force it with these reverse cut serves. Those have been nutty, especially compared to the high-level serves we've seen so far, to see even better reverse cuts coming in from Laughlin in the finals. Really tells volumes about his serves.
He's hit the cut twice in a row. He's going to go for a third time? No. I mean, he goes for the cut, not the reverse, and that'll work just fine.
He's keeping everybody guessing.
He's keeping me guessing. He's keeping, I'm sure, Max and Gabe guessing. Now it's Gabe's turn to guess. This is how dangerous every single one of these players can be. You let them get hot, and all of a sudden, they just got 5 points on you. Finocchi will backhand this, but Laughlin runs it down. He hits this one straight up, though, and Finocchi can play this gently. Modell with a calm set. Finocchi with an easy put away.
Interesting execution there for Laughlin. He has the set back from Abrams here and chooses just to go straight down. Maybe he just can't find anything better, but that's too easy for players like Finocchi and Modell, who are happy to chase down balls that are going horizontal. A vertical ball is
overheard there
easy.
From Laughlin talking to Abrams that he thought the ball was a little more off the net than it was. And with those off the net hits, sometimes you do have to go overhead and take that approach.
Right. And sometimes when you're going off net overhand, you can get a weird pocket bounce. You can hit the side pocket and make it a little less predictable for your opponents.
After losing the margin they had before, at least the substantial margin, Modell tried to get his second serve on but couldn't. They're still in the lead, though.
Yeah, the score was 10-4, so to bring it back within 2 in such quick fashion is wild.
You can see even Abrams heating up on the serve as well. Laughlin, he's got the momentum, the confidence to chase this one down. He'll put this one on, but Finocchi, he's right in position. Modell has to pop this one up, and so Gabe swipes at it hard, and that is exactly what he needed to do.
These players are just operating with such control. Finocchi ranges 20, 30 feet off. Modell puts it high, and he's able to find it off net for that hit. Not really a great set from Modell resetting there.
Tough set to recalibrate, coming back at you from far away. All you got to do really is pop it up. I mean, Finocchi on that diving grab nearly got a perfect set in the process anyway, so Max was just giving his teammate time to get back. Finocchi now, he's the one with the reverse, but Laughlin is the one to receive. He does that fine, and he puts it away just as fine as well.
And all of a sudden, we're right back to Grant Laughlin. Last time up, chipped away heavily into the lead. This time, trying to bring it to even.
They'll play this one for sure.
Oh.
Unfortunately, that one is not the hit that Gabe was looking for. Looks like the lip up, though, popped off the body of Laughlin, so they'll take that point. Up by 3 and hoping to find these serves again. Max Modell misses the first. Fakes right, goes left and drops it on. Abrams has no trouble. He was ready for it. Max actually is able to get it done with a little soft touch of his own. Finocchi has to dive for this one. Modell has a shot, gets it back. Can Finocchi swing? He can swing, but he can't quite find the target. That would have been miraculous. Play of the year, possibly. But unfortunately, shorting it.
Yeah, outdoing themselves really only from Richmond as the leading contender for play of the year. But this soft touch tapped on. Abrams tries to reset it far, and Finocchi just barely gets off frame, and Modell goes flying out of frame. You got to come live if you want all the camera angles.
Yeah, you really got to.
Infinite camera angles if you're live in person. Let me tell you, it's worth coming to a Spikeball Tour Series event just to get that live view. But Abrams is serving down 2 here.
That one just up and away. The momentum surely feels like it has shifted sides, with Laughlin hitting about 5 in a row and Abrams heating up as well. It's now on the shoulders of Finocchi to change the course. He hits a beautiful serve, and that throws Abrams off balance on the recovery set. Laughlin can't get it back on.
That'll turn things around quickly, where you had Laughlin and Abrams serving down 2, which means if they're serving down 2, Finocchi serving up 3, and now he's all of a sudden up 4 with another break.
Big left as well from him now. Abrams, he'll touch this one, and Max actually gets this one back behind the back. Diving backhand. Finocchi gets the job done.
Picking up really where they left off at 10-4. Now they've expanded their lead back to 5. And really, other than that hiccup mid-game with a couple of big breaks from Laughlin, Finocchi and Modell is looking really smooth.
That was a very clean hit from Gabe. I know I saw one replay, but I could watch that at least 3 more times. But we've got to watch him serve because that's also been quite spicy when he's heating up. We've seen both the cut and the reverse cut from him recently. Goes reverse this time and fries Laughlin. He couldn't even budge. That lead that Laughlin had successfully chipped away at, well, Finocchi has secured it again. He goes lefty reverse there, and Abrams has a chance to put this back on. He does, but Finocchi's got a chance of his own. Diving effort, out of reach.
So much room to play with. What a good set and control here for Finocchi getting this back to net. More of a desperation tap on here for Abrams, so not too surprising how they're under control. Fakes the backhand. Laughlin's totally fooled.
Here he goes again. Opts for cut. Abrams will choose to not play it and hit it back to Finocchi. But a 7-point margin right now. He can swing away, and he does. Little jam. Laughlin hits it hard right into the body of Max, who, guess what, has no problem with the defense as always. Finocchi delivers him a dime. Modell gets the put away.
So much control there. Abrams Laughlin, you see the rating on the wall at 18-12, but now that it's 2012, it starts to really sink in. Okay, we need to regroup, figure out our game plan for game 2.
Huge cut, and Abrams barely gets it, but Laughlin shorts the set, and that is game 1 over for Finocchi and Modell. What a dominant performance from them, and so impressive that they were able to recover the momentum after that mid-game shift, right? It started off, they're swinging on all cylinders. They are just firing away, and they are getting those breaks. Then Laughlin fights it back, and then all of a sudden, Finocchi is able to go on a ridiculous run, but what, 5 points in a row?
So I would break that game into 3 sections. I'd say it was a 10-4 opening. Then we were at 10-12, so that's a 10-4 run answered by a 6-2 run from Laughlin.
Yep.
And then we ended on a 9-2 run. So 3 runs there, right? Exactly what you just
Unreal.
described, but you put those into 3 chunks, and wow, just a dominating performance. You can give up a couple of points here or there in the middle if you're going to close on a 9-2 run for Finocchi and Modell, but what a treat. Just firing on all cylinders, and we saw glimpses of what Abrams and Laughlin are capable of. It's not that they can't keep up, but they need to do it for the span of the entire game. It can't just be one little run.
Yep. But we did see how scary, Laughlin and Abrams can get. We saw how powerful they were. We saw the serves from Laughlin, the reverse, that just couldn't be touched. We saw Abrams hit a nice couple of jams, right? We didn't see as much movement from him in terms of the spin on the ball, but what we did see is that if they're like you said, firing on all cylinders, if they're the ones with the momentum, this is a very different game. Like, if they can harness that mid-game energy, get Finocchi and Modell on the back foot, I'm not going to count them out of this series whatsoever.
No, they're getting the same kinds of wild touches off net. They're hitting really high-powered serves. They can do all the same things. So maybe just needs to familiarize himself with this feature court. Finocchi and Modell feeling really good on that spot. We saw Creamy win game 1 of the semifinals after getting to be on the feature court. So maybe it's just that magic they have to get used to on the feature court here for the stream. But yeah, we're gonna keep going. I think they're gathering up for game 2, resetting a couple of things. Yeah, resetting a couple of things here on the stream. Gasso here being somehow in charge of me, but also my right-hand man doing the scoreboard reset for me. So big shots to Andrew Gassaway. If you don't know who that is, he is the Spikeball logistics manager, and among those things is the stream director and producer. So if you're wondering why this is so impressive today, it's because of him. But also the players are being pretty sick too.
Yeah, I'll
give them some credit.
That's just a nice touch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think every time we see Finocchi and Modell take the field, it is just another level of athleticism, of soft touches. Ever since that soft touch rule was introduced back in start of 2021. We've been looking for plays like this. We've been building to this moment, and I think 2022 has been a year where we're really refining those skills, and I think Finocchi and Modell are, I'd say, the #1 team putting those soft touches on full display. But game 2 is upon us, and we are moments away from getting started here. This is our final match of the day, and Laughlin and Abrams, they've got to put on a show. They've got to start off strong, get the momentum swinging on their side of things, back Modell and Finocchi into a corner if they can, and if they can do that, I'd say game 3 is in the cards. And here we go. Laughlin to start. Goes for the reverse right off the bat, given the success he's had with that. Not too surprised, but unfortunately a little wide. Goes for it again, but that one too high.
I know Finocchi is, from an archetypal standpoint, the strong server on the team. Puts on a good reverse cut there. But with the hot hand of Modell, I maybe want to line things up differently for him.
Yeah?
And that's not to discount that you also are prioritizing who receives Grant Laughlin first on the other side of the ball. But just some food for thought for me.
Well, Abrams will look to change things up as he targets Finocchi aggressively with a poor swing.
The first serve is free, as they say.
Near disaster, but crisis averted, so Abrams will just opt to put this one on gently as he does not want to risk endangering the life of Finocchi with his second serve.
Something tells me they're going to have some laughs about that for a little while. because you rarely miss a serve by that much, but when you miss it by that much, you rarely assault your opponent.
Here goes Modell. He goes righty, and that is tough for Laughlin to grab. He will do that, and unfortunately, looks like Finocchi and Modell both kind of stuck in those starting positions after the serve. Didn't see the full rotation from Finocchi that we're used to seeing.
Understandably, it was a really good set from Abrams, and they just didn't track how well it was coming back to center and give him that option. Sometimes you just get outset by the offense.
Well, here goes Laughlin again as we've on our next rotation. You saw how much he cut that ball. You saw how much he was torquing off his hand, but unfortunately just a little too much, so he pulled it off the net.
Yeah, Gabe trying to show him how it's done.
Oh, and he does it beautifully. The recovery dive from Laughlin on the set, just not there, and, well, Abrams has to dive as well to get that back on and just can't do it. Looking to continue that success with another big swing, but that one high. There's another one, incredibly low, but Laughlin recovers, and Max Modell just, that one sneaks by him. Uncharacteristic bad touch.
And a great find there for Laughlin. Really just, it's a recovery hit almost. Usually you talk about a recovery set. Just saves the point.
Good reverse there from Abrams, but Modell is able to get it done, and Finocchi, as always, delivers a good set. We saw Abrams there on the defense, nearly got that touch in the right direction, but both him and Laughlin were kind of colliding in that same point. Here goes Modell swinging away, and unfortunately Abrams had the slightly bad touch that forced Laughlin to dig that one right by the net, and he touched the net while he did that. And as anyone knows, that is a no-no.
Yeah. When setting, you cannot touch the set. You can't touch the net at any point during a live play. A little bit confusing to hear set sometimes used for the net when you're making a set. So
right.
I like to use the word net as much as possible for that reason. But the net isn't just
which,
the
of course,
middle.
encompasses the rim and the legs and
right.
the whole setup.
So I'm talking about, the equipment.
A killer reverse, though, from Laughlin.
Speaking
that is what they need to do. You get the right ball in your hands, you utilize that net, and you put a ridiculous amount of spin. Let's take a look at it again. He's got Max going the complete other direction, and, you know, just that subtle movement is enough to completely throw Modell off balance. Can he do it again? Almost, as he goes for cut this time. Modell puts this one on two. He has really no other option there. So Laughlin, when he gets it back, he just sends it up and over.
And their start has been much smoother than game one, keeping things close. And for a player like Grant who can really just go on a tear, all he needs is to stay tight in a game.
Nice cut again, some good movement. Awkward set from Finocchi, but Max is able to get it on. Gets the body up as Abrams just puts that one right in his face, and unfortunately, that ball's headed the wrong way.
Yeah, the devil's in the details there. That's a really good serve, but it actually is just side pocketing, and Modell is pretty much pressure to play through it, despite it being a side pocket, because he's so scared of Laughlin's second serve, and all of a sudden that unravels into a suboptimal offensive possession.
Well, that hit from Finocchi is not suboptimal. The catch in the legs from Laughlin may have been, though.
Yeah, they keep things tied, but now Laughlin and Abrams are going to be serving up one with that advantage. Gabe looking to take the lead back for his team.
Big swing, and that'll jam Laughlin up nicely, but a nice misdirection in the end. Modell thought he was going across his body the other way with the left, but he goes pull with the right instead.
Yeah, strong footwork. Laughlin, like a lot of players, have really strong pulls, and Modell rightfully has to respect it.
Playing through the rim, but a defensive opportunity for Abrams just slips away.
So many of these first serves are being played. Just the high percentage of serves that could be called faults that are being played is not a stat that we keep, but a really interesting one.
Lefty reverse attempt from Max is well off the mark. Back to the fakes, and he hits the lefty this time. Abrams with a chance at it, though, and that sneaks by Modell just by his right shoulder. And Finocchi, despite, in general, being in the general vicinity, he was not in the exact spot he needed to be. With Laughlin and Abrams up by 1, a position that they're not used to being in after that first game. Laughlin is looking to further that lead, but just can't do it. Tried for the reverse again, it looked like. Back-to-back attempts. Neither hitting the sweet spot.
And gave some credit to Laughlin as someone who, if he's got the ball and it's a close game, he could go crazy. But right across from him, Finocchi is equally liable to do that.
Here he goes. There's the reverse, but Laughlin was ready for it.
Ooh.
The push gentle enough that off the knee of Finocchi, it didn't go the right way.
It almost got high enough, though. Max Modell needs, what, 3 more inches of height on that set before he can get a ball back to net? Dan trying to get rolling serve-wise. Hit a couple good ones early game 1, but has been otherwise just get him into play.
Yeah, nice little drop on from him. And against Finocchi and Modell, that's not usually going to end up working out.
Yeah, getting beat on that pull, though, is a tough feeling because Laughlin's got nobody to his left. He's got Abrams to his right on the push. If he can get that funnel and force Modell off the push, or pull, excuse me.
A lot of fakes there from Modell again.
Yeah, the fakes from Modell definitely have me dizzy.
No fakes this time. Goes straight for it, but shorts it, unfortunately. But we've been here for some time now, just back and forth between that 1 round, 1 point lead, and that all tied up. But Abrams gets a big touch here and a break opportunity, and he finds it. You see the celebration, and it is well deserved, getting a much needed break to stretch that lead to 2.
Yeah. Just sneaks behind Finocchi, so Finocchi doesn't know exactly how far he's rotated on the backhand push, and he's able to just almost be like a spy in the outfield. Gets that touch and converts the break.
And now it's Laughlin with the ball. Catches rim. Double fault, unfortunately. The score on your screen reads 12-10 now, but it is 11-12. Diving effort from Laughlin, and the push from Abrams is there.
A huge save.
That's just a hold, but an important hold at that, one that nearly slipped away.
Finocchi checking out the first touch. It's always free. Unless you get injured diving for it.
Of course.
There's no such thing as a free touch. My
Not-
economics
not against these
professor always
guys.
told me. Oh. There we are. We'll rotate here.
Oh, he goes righty, and unfortunately that's going to give Laughlin a great opportunity to get this one done, but unfortunately he can't. Abrams will play through the lip up, and Laughlin is once again crawling on the ground to get the set, and Abrams cannot deliver the hit back on net.
Such an unfortunate sequence here, especially as this hit from Finocchi is maybe barely hitting the pocket. It's so close to being a rimmed hit, a miss hit, and that fear of not being able to just convert that play outright versus seeing what a call would be from an observer is sometimes a choice you don't want to go to.
Yeah, that was a that was a messy one from both teams. We saw a couple of
Laughlin,
pocketed hits.
Laughlin needs to work on his monkey walk with all fours.
Yes,
he
we
was just
saw that
trying
from
to crawl.
Modell earlier, but I think Laughlin needs to take some pointers.
Yeah, you gotta think that Modell won't teach him until after this match. But wow, an unfortunate miscue there from Modell. Not sure exactly what went wrong with the toss, but a double fault is a double fault. Was I too loud there? Did I get in their heads?
You may have. Max seemed to have laughed about that one, but Finocchi, he's going to recover this with a nice dive. Abrams with a backhand, and Finocchi gets a hand on it. Now soft touch. Max has to give chase, though, and Finocchi gets it back on the net, but it just clipped rim. I thought that was initially a soft touch, but it's actually just his only hit, his first hit.
Right, yeah, this miss, it rolled up, so then you hear Modell say, "You've got it," and Gabe's touch goes so far away from Modell, who was right next to him. The fact that Finocchi almost got that back after the miscue of the first touch not being very good and the second touch being off net is uncanny, unfair. I would say inconsiderate to people who are just trying to make their in-system hits on that. But it's all right. Finocchi's just trying to raise the level of play here.
Goes for cut this time.
Speaking of things that are raised, that is high on Max's shoulder.
Well, despite the shenanigans in the last few points, we are still neck and neck. 15-13. Laughlin opts for the left, but just misses. This game, though, it has been Laughlin and Abrams on top. They are the ones who have held a lead if we're not tied up. And they will continue to hold that as no defensive break will land.
Such a tricky spot there. Modell wasn't sure if the ball was going to get touched by Finocchi, so he slowed up on chasing the ball in that gap. And it's exactly where Dan Abrams hit it. Another double fault here.
We've seen Finocchi and Modell in a very similar position before. Down by one, nearing the end of this game too. Are they going to be able to get a break, get a couple of aces to swing the momentum in their favor? If not that, is it the defensive touch that they're going to turn to? They've got to get a serve on first, and that's what Max will opt to do. Just a nice little put-on serve, drops, and that is not going to give Laughlin much trouble at all, and he puts one around Max, no options for him.
Yeah, great patience. He gets that centered set from Abrams and just waits for Max to jump on the pull before he hits the push.
Here comes the swing and a nice low reverse from Laughlin, but there's Max finding that lefty dive again. That's been missing for a few points now, delivering a beautiful strike.
Just pushing to keep them in this one. Finocchi serving just down one here. Couple fakes.
There's a good cut, but Abrams recovers it nicely, and that is a good hit after that initial challenging receive. You get a serve like that in your hands. Sometimes it can pop off in unpredictable directions, but Laughlin recovered it nicely, and Abrams delivered a clean hit.
Yeah, Modell is somehow getting all the way around, just inches through the gap.
That's a good jam. That's going to force Max to challenge for this, and that was not easy to do. He tried to get that one back over his left shoulder, and unfortunately just misses the touch.
Now a 3-point advantage for Laughlin and Abrams.
Which is very, very different from two, especially when Abrams can hit a wicked cut and get this one into game point range.
Laughlin tells his teammate to do it.
There goes Finocchi. Abrams with an incredible hand on it, gives it to Laughlin, who puts it away. That's game two.
He said to do it, they did it. We talked about how they could do the same kinds of things, get those great athletic touches and apply serving pressure that we saw in game one from Finocchi and Modell. Really, all we saw there was just a flip of the script, a little less swingy back and forth. It was more or less a tight game, and just around the low teens, Abrams, Laughlin get that advantage. That 1-point lead becomes 2, 3, 4. Ultimately, a 5-point win there, 21-16.
Wow. I mean, it certainly didn't feel, a 5-point swing is a pretty substantial swing in round net, especially, when these games are so close and when every single serving break matters. But, when you think about it, Max and Gabe, they're winning points when they are allowed to get athletic. We saw those opportunities in game one. Yeah. Where were those opportunities in game two? They just weren't happening. Whether that is a product of not as many good serves on the net from Gabe and Max, whether that is a product of just better offensive play from Abrams and Laughlin, it's hard to know that for sure. But what you definitely know is that the scoreline reflects just the lack of ability of them to make defensive touches.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple of those plays where one of the last plays, Finocchi got a great serve on the net, and Abrams had that clean put away low.
Right.
Laughlin had a nice backhand flick push, and those are all really representative of just the sets from Laughlin and Abrams have been really clean. And for Finocchi and Modell, they got a lot of really good body touches in game one. They were playing a little more often in game two. More or less, they're playing body defense when they feel like they can get directionally set and get off center. But if the sets are really centered like this, they don't have a lot to work with, and they're really just guessing, reaching for things. So
Well,
they can guess the right spots in game 3.
It's game 3, though.
They'll get some touches. Yeah.
It's game 3, and I
mean,
anything
expect
can
more.
happen,
You
right?
can only expect more from them in game 3.
Exactly. We have no real idea what to expect here. And the fact is that, Finocchi and Modell have been in this exact position before. In Richmond, in our, second Challenger event of the year, but in our first stream of the year, we saw Max and Gabe in the finals against Ryan Gross and Ravi Kandula, and they duked it out. It went to game 3, and then, despite holding a lead late in game 3, Ryan and Ravi were able to close it out. I know second place is nice, but they would hate to be the runner-up again.
Yeah. They definitely want their day in the center of the podium picture. But it's also a place that Laughlin and Abrams have yet to be. Not as a team. They're playing this tournament as a one-off mashup, but individually, neither of them have been in the center of a podium at a tournament of this caliber. Finocchi, of course, has done that many a time.
That is a good hit from Max.
Last year had many podiums and quite a few in the middle with his former teammate Travis Core. Max Modell not able to do that just yet, working towards his first pitcher.
Big lefty there, and Abrams, he'll bait the hit on 2, leaving his teammate enough time to really have as many options as he wanted, so Laughlin will opt for just the short drop to get that out of reach of both defenders. Finocchi with a nice rip. Abrams really had no chance at that. Gabe Finocchi now to serve. Abrams thought about that one. Maybe playing that one over his head, but he'll let that one go past.
A rundown play is better than a no-touch ace, is all I have to say for Dan Abrams.
There it is. He got a hand on it, but it didn't matter. The lowest reverse you're ever going to see. Dan Abrams had no shot, no chance.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And it's why he's giving serious consideration to playing that first serve. That's wild.
That is absurd. That barely left the ground. Can he do it again? Not quite. They'll play through it anyway, but Laughlin goes where there are no defenders.
Yeah.
That is really good hitting.
Laughlin taking notes. You have to play through. At a minimum, see what you can get on a first touch, though. If you can get a first touch settled, just make the set and make the hit. Don't worry about another receive.
Here goes Laughlin. He has rarely hit a no-touch cut ace, but he's hit the no-touch reverses on several occasions. The cut has been powerful. It's been low, and it's been hard to receive just like that. That forces Finocchi to really get those feet moving, work his way around the net, and thanks to a well-placed set from his teammate, he's able to get the put away.
Finocchi looks on. Doesn't look like he's ready to jump into defense. He's got his hands on his hips.
He's always ready.
Must be nice being that quick.
There goes Max, keeping it low, forcing Abrams to work for it, and Max with a diving hand on it will at least give his partner a look, but Finocchi thinks twice before sending it all the way to the other side of the field for that ball. Here goes Dan Abrams. That is a hard swing and nice and low, but clipped the front rim, and that's why.
Yeah, that one I thought it was good, but
A little bit of chatter. The observers just giving their inputs there to make sure the players are not making any infractions that they could avoid, like stepping on the service line. Feels like a silly one to be doing.
Gabe with the reverse, and that really allows Laughlin to get his hand on it nicely, and both Finocchi and Modell opted to crowd the net there, and Laughlin, seeing through that, just puts it up and over.
Even if you're taking off, that ball's going so far away.
Here goes Laughlin. He's had a couple of streaks so far in this series, game 2 especially. But it looks like in game 3, we have yet to see that momentum swing.
You have to see really anyone break out above a 1-point advantage. It's been even
Story stays the same.
Yeah.
It was a good serve from Modell, don't get me wrong. It just wasn't good enough to give Abrams any trouble. Can Abrams do the same? Not quite. That was opting
like
for the reverse there.
This feels like our calm before the storm right now. The players are they traded a game each way. They're just sizing each other up at the beginning of this third game. They know there's going to be fireworks.
Opts for the drop, and Modell adapts nicely. He rips hard, and it pops off Laughlin's body. Abrams cannot get there.
The touch is not far away from going straight up to his teammate, though.
See what Finocchi can do. He hits a nasty reverse. That's 2 this game already. The replay shows it. The last one barely left the ground. This one has a bit more height to it, but is just as deadly. Here he goes again, this time the cut. Not quite though, a little high. There's the reverse, nearly gets Abrams into trouble.
Oh.
He opts for the low percentage shot, the flick away, and it is well placed.
Just under Finocchi's arm. Usually that low percentage shot results in a touch that is ungettable for the defense. It's interesting to see him going for that low percentage shot right next to the opponent.
Risky, but got the job done.
High risk, mild reward. Oh, and speaking of reward, Laughlin ties this game right up. There's a 2-point deficit for just a moment. Now we're tied again.
There is still a lot of value into just swinging hard. I mean, that ball, it was right at Max's shoulder, but it was hard enough, and it did move enough that Max had a little trouble getting that into play. Laughlin opts for the reverse this time and chooses the spin route instead of the speed route, but it misses the net entirely.
Definitely 2 popular choices. Oh my
there
gosh.
goes Max Modell with a beautiful right hand, something he has to have been training recently because that thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's getting so much respect for his left hand that it means if he can execute, it's an open hole. Just exploiting that for aces right now.
He goes righty again, but Laughlin respects it more this time. That one called no good. This one nice and low, but Laughlin recovers it well. This one playable, though, by Finocchi. He pops this one up, allows Modell to get the set. Finocchi swings. Abrams has to chase, gets a foot on it. Laughlin pops it up, but Abrams just cannot get there.
What a brutal scramble. Yet another opportunity where Finocchi and Modell get a ball back to net here, and it's rolling off the back pocket, and because of that, Abrams Laughlin can't really find an instant opportunity. Good fortune, truly, for Finocchi and Modell. Getting the ball to bounce their way.
Can he do it again? Goes for left, and that is spicy once again. Dan Abrams, oh my goodness,
Wow.
he misses the touch. A good old-fashioned accidental whiff that works because Max Modell was expecting a higher quality result.
You can only get away with that so many times. Oh, a little hesitation.
Oh my God, risky to play that one given the set from Finocchi, and Dan
Wow.
Abrams takes full advantage. That's a small mistake.
Yeah,
a small mistake, but one that they are going to look back on.
The execution that is one thing to be impressed by with Abrams taking that too, but the decision there to just get the defense on their heels and just take the open hit is ballsy, to say the least. Down a break already. You need that point, and just to put it up to chance.
I mean, you worked so hard for the 2 points just before, and
Yeah.
with one small miscalculation, all of a sudden, your opponent's got it back. They're going to be remedy this pretty quickly, though, because Abrams puts one on and gives them the opportunity to send that one away, make that untouchable.
Finocchi's trying to extend this lead.
Goes for the right. Holding this 2-point lead right now. And looking to extend with a good cut, but Dan Abrams takes full advantage of a well-placed set from his teammate. That one sent out of reach. We're getting to the point in this game where both teams can see the finish line. Laughlin hoping to get his team there a little sooner with a nice serve, but that is well handled by Max Modell and an even better recovery set from Gabe Finocchi to have a nice hold and to maintain this 2-point lead.
Yeah, this stage, just look for the quality of those second touches. It's going to come down to just finishes and putaways, and these guys are all good enough at hitting that if the set's there, the hit's going to follow.
Here goes Max. He's not opting for the fake this time. Wanted to maybe catch Laughlin off guard and just surprise him with a quick righty, but it catches the rim. No fakes either this time, but this is a clean serve. Abrams has to hop over the net, and that results in, well, not the best set ever. Modell has a chance at this. He puts it nice and low, but Abrams recovers now. Laughlin goes up and over Max, but Gabe is waiting. Here goes Modell on the set. Finocchi with the put away. Abrams got a chance at this. Wait a minute here. Laughlin gets it back in play. Abrams gets it on, and now Modell has to get this back. Here goes Finocchi. A big rip and up and over. Laughlin, point of the day. The crowd erupts here, and it is well deserved.
Counts for one, but feels like 5. I don't know where we pick up in this replay, but Finocchi's putting this high and far. It gets over Laughlin's head. Wow. Yeah, the players a little bit dizzy, trying to make sure they know who started where.
Oh my word. And at this point in the game, just when things are getting intense, just when, like I said, a moment before that point transpired, just when the finish line is in sight, the light at the end of the tunnel is there, and Abrams and Laughlin, after that, oh my God, after that banger of a point, they're going to walk that one off. I don't know if we can get another replay of that, if that is possible.
Pretty please.
I don't think it is.
If not, I will have to watch it back.
I'm going to go back and watch that because, my God, that was a long rally, and every time it looked like we were going to get a put away, another defensive touch happened, and then somebody else made a move. My goodness.
Yeah, fantastic effort. Cool to see Finocchi Modell pick him up in one tournament in Richmond, put him down here in Philadelphia. They're still just winning the big rallies, and those are game-changing. It's getting the win taken out of the sails, like you said. Abrams, Laughlin, we're keeping this close. Now it's a 3-point game, and what that means for getting to take this lead, 3 points, into the later stages of the game, feels like a whole lot more. If they can get 1 or 2 more breaks here, it's pretty much a dagger for them.
God, there were so many high-quality shots in that rally.
Yeah.
I mean, to break down each individual shot, I'm sure, and I don't know, Lefty on 2, maybe you want to make something happen there with a breakdown, but dang, that was something special. Max Modell trying to ride that wave, serve this one away, but unfortunately the defense is just not going to happen. Abrams opts to play it off the rim and gets a nice put away as a result. And so despite the fireworks, despite the glory of that earlier point, I mean, we are looking at still a 2-point margin. Nothing crazy right now. All it takes is a little bit of serving momentum. All it takes is one defensive touch like that, and we're in business. There it is from Laughlin, on and away from the net. Modell, no chance.
Yeah, great communication here from Abrams. Laughlin gets the touch falling down. Abrams calls the second touch so that Laughlin has time to stand up and focus on the following third hit. Great teamwork there, especially for a mashup team, to get that conversion when we've seen some soft touches not go away.
That one is high, but looks like Finocchi chooses to play it. Abrams gets this back at least close to the net. Finocchi with a little bit of a sigh of relief there. The expression on his face screamed, oh, well, thankfully that one didn't land because I don't know if I was fully ready for that.
Unless they got the shot of me falling.
Interesting footwork there. Observing Finocchi there. Really closed body sense and then just unreal as it opens his hips.
Finocchi again, a nasty cut, but Abrams receives it well. Modell wants this. He's going to go all the way there. Finocchi with a recovery set.
Come on.
Modell with a dive. He sends it all the way back. Oh my God, he's going to have to take a breather after that one.
Like you said, he loves these. He takes off, always lose the hat, and then just not quite enough height. It's such a precise set that you need from Finocchi. It's hard to really say he missed that set. It's just that he didn't make a spectacularly fantastic one.
The set looked good enough for me. It was like Max was so far gone that he just didn't have the time to get all the way back. You're asking so much from both of your teammates at that point.
Yeah. It's a give and take on how fast you can run and also how high you can hit the ball, but the higher you hit the ball, the harder it is to find. Wow.
That one a little high, but almost caught Max and got him in a little bit of trouble. My concern right now for Modell is how he's going to be able to recover after that diving effort. We like to see him, you know, take those timeouts, take a moment to regroup, and now with another break coming in from Abrams and Laughlin.
We got a tie ball game.
We got a tie ball game.
It was a 3-point lead moments ago. We talked about how coming out of the timeout at 13-10, if they could get a break or two, it would be a dagger. We've seen the opposite of a dagger. I'm not good at antonyms. But it's 15 for Laughlin.
I gotta say, I think this is the most important point for Finocchi and Modell right now. If Laughlin can hit this ace, if they can't put this away, then this is going to be very troubling. Abrams gets a touch on this, and Laughlin just tries to swing away at it, but they survive.
Giving up the body. And as he's trying to find this touch, great effort from Abrams to get the ball high enough that Laughlin can find his right hand on it, but the backward somersault, no dice. Well, they got the point they needed from you.
Yeah, the point they needed, because the momentum, it does feel like it is right on the precipice of both of these teams. Modell, you had the wind knocked out of those sails for a moment after back-to-back athletic plays. He's huffing and puffing, and all of a sudden it is just as intense. And he's got to deliver the same high-quality round net. He will deliver a nice lefty. He'll pop up a body as well and give Finocchi a chance. Unfortunately, the righty hit will not be good. That one is going to clip the rim.
Yeah, I'm going to give a miscue there for Finocchi on that set, not giving the ball cross net for Modell's left hand. Usually he's been setting him really well to his left, but not there. Wow, what a decision!
And that catches Modell off guard.
We haven't seen Abrams go this way, so Max just has to take off for the lefty, you know, hard hit, and it just opens up so much space here. Look at Modell just give up his hips. Wow. What a decision there for Abrams in that spot to pull out a left-handed drop serve.
If Abrams hits a serve here, I mean, I don't know. This is going to be tough for Modell and Finocchi to recover from. It's 17-16. Match point right around the corner. Are you kidding? Not quite.
Just
not
rim.
Quite.
The answer is yes.
My heart nearly.
Yeah.
We all gasped here in the booth. Finocchi, he wants to go right back into it. Doesn't want to waste any time. Modell just gets his body in front of it, but it's not good enough.
And Laughlin's getting the ball in hand with a lead for the first time in many points. A scary prospect for Modell on the receive.
Here goes Laughlin, rips away, good reverse, but Finocchi with a great recovery set, and wow, Modell getting just enough power on that to get both over Laughlin, who was playing the body defense, and away from Abrams, who was running it down. Here goes Modell. Fakes right, goes left, too high. Second serve. Left again. That one low. Abrams with a pretty solid set, and that's good enough to get out of the range of Modell's body attempt, and Finocchi covering the pull. Abrams now rips away. High, and Modell's going to choose not to play it.
Well, I'm not going to hit that.
Little debate on if they should have played it or not. Abrams just going to get this one on, though, so I think Finocchi and Modell happy with their decision because they get a free point instead.
Abrams, Laughlin, a little frozen there. Not sure who is going to rotate to that backhand coverage. They both pretty much split it evenly.
It's 19s. It's win by 2, as we all know. The reverse at this time. Abrams calls it high, but there is absolutely no chance. That was a ridiculously clean reverse. And at this moment, in this final, are you kidding me, Gabe Finocchi?
Yep. I don't have the best angle, but just about a no-doubter with the amount of spin there. So good. Abrams maybe just holding out a prayer.
Goes again, and he goes righty and nearly gets him to bite. The entire crowd just let out a gasp because they saw how Laughlin was going the other way. If that serve landed on the net and didn't lip up, we're in business. His second serve will be no good, so we are all tied up going into extras here in the final. The exact situation where Modell and Finocchi were last time they were in a final. Laughlin to serve. Big reverse. Finocchi receives well with his left and now goes lefty on the net as well, and it is just good enough to give Laughlin some trouble. Not quite.
Just good enough.
It's going to have caught
the
rim.
Descriptor.
It
that
caught the rim, though.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it just caught rim or something on the side pocket. That makes some sense why it bounced there.
With a chance to put this game away then, Max gets a touch on it, and now he has to go back to the net, and just in the nick of time, saving their lives here in this final. The crowd, you can see them, they want this game to go longer. They want more, and they're going to get more. We're tied at 21. He goes right, but Laughlin is ready for it this time. A righty into Max's body, and that slips away.
I am loving just the ebb and flow of everybody getting excited on the point, and then we're dead silent here.
No one wants to make a sound. Abrams with a good cut gives Finocchi trouble. Diving effort, lip up. Abrams has a chance at this. Laughlin puts it on. Can Modell get there? Yes, he can. Finocchi's got to put this in perfectly, and he does. Modell gets it away, but Abrams gets it back, and somehow Finocchi and Modell stay alive.
All this for a hold. We see Modell airborne. A dime set from Finocchi, and it's in the gap, but Laughlin gets around that. Oh, my gosh.
Max Modell, he wanted that one so badly. He sent everything he had at that ball that was way in the crowd, and somehow it got back. We do have a momentary pause.
Yeah, Dan Abrams was trying to save Dan Abrams trying to save that last set we saw. So to rewind, right, from the touch that Modell has, diving off to the right, a fantastic set from Finocchi, a righty push from Modell in the gap. Laughlin dives for, gets it up, and then at the very end of that point, Dan Abrams is flailing, trying to find that set. Looks like he came down a little funny. Not sure if it's an ankle or something in the leg, but he's going to be utilizing his 5-minute injury timeout. So we're going to be just digesting everything right now. Probably not going to take a break. Because
we're going to stay with the action.
Yeah,
we got a lot to talk about here.
Because there's a lot going on.
What we just saw was like an incredible point where Max Modell, Gabe Finocchi had to stay alive. I mean, what's been happening is both these teams have been going back and forth. It was Max Modell and Gabe Finocchi with the advantage, with what we would call, they're up the mini, right? They're the ones receiving the serve, technically have an advantage to put that one away. They're going to be on offense first. Laughlin hit a nice serve that gave Finocchi trouble. He hit the rim. All of a sudden, that mini switched. Then it was in the favor of Laughlin and Abrams. They had a chance to put it away. They couldn't do it the first time. But on that one, that was just a hold. That was just a hold for Finocchi and Modell because it was a great serve from Abrams, and they had to dive for it, reach for it, and claw for their lives. They hang on. I'm hoping Abrams is uninjured and unscathed and ready to go back into this because it is still Abrams and Laughlin up that half a point advantage. Now with a chance to receive. Great serve from Finocchi, but great recovery set from Laughlin that saves the day.
Absolutely clutch. Finocchi a half step, maybe even a half a hair away from getting a dive out for that first touch defensively. Laughlin another chance here.
Terrifying for Modell. Last time Laughlin served, he barely got this touch up on the receive. There's the reverse, but that's high. They're going to play through this, and Modell will pull that one away. Very risky, but at the same time, a smart choice.
A calculated decision, yeah. The number of times we thought we might have a gap in the action when they play the fault serve on one is a very high clip.
Here goes Max. Big serve and force Laughlin to move. Good footwork, though. Modell, he just has to watch as Finocchi goes up to the sky to grab that ball, and unfortunately hits his hand and ricochets the other way. Still Dan Abrams for the chance to put this one away, 24-23. Opts for the cut. Modell, calm set. Finocchi not his best put away. Abrams with a chance to do it, and he does. Finocchi and Modell, they've had several chances, their second opportunity and their second runner-up result, because Dan Abrams and Grant Laughlin have prevailed here in Philly. A round of applause from the crowd for one of the all-time greatest finishes to a match we have seen in a long time. Everyone spent out there.
Thanks around and watching, cheering that on. We do have the after party after this. It's set up right outside. There's some campfires and everything. And
some of the Northeastern players, Dan Abrams, a grad student experience at Northeastern, has his Northeast teammates representing here, storming the field. Grant Laughlin, Texas native, playing in the Northeast now, a DC-based player. Doesn't have as much of his hometown Texas A&M compatriots on site, but a lot of love for Grant Laughlin, too, getting his first pitcher.
I cannot believe this, man.
What a comeback for them. Just
what a way to end.
I mean, humbled in game one.
Absolutely.
Losing game one 21-12. Come back, claw their way back in game three, get even, push extras, and win 25-23.
I got to say, that's got to be heartbreak for Max Modell and Gabe Finocchi. Like, they've had two chances at it, and they've lost in extras in game three both times. I can't imagine what they're feeling right now, but the feeling from Dan Abrams and Grant Laughlin, they've got to be on cloud nine after one of the hardest fought finals we have seen in a long while.
Just a fantastic showing for them. Some ridiculous rallies and plays throughout. Just a really fun match to watch. It's been a treat. I believe we're going to try to get Grant and Dan on the mic here, get some instant reactions for y'all back home. But yeah, what a good match. What a treat to do that on the mic with you, Jonah.
Oh, my God. It's
such a pleasure.
I'm going to give up my seat when they get in here, allow you to interview Dan Abrams, Grant Laughlin, our victors here of the Philly Challenger event 2022. Unbelievable result from them, a hard-fought quarterfinals match against Bazinga, which was fun to watch. The entire crowd enjoyed that, and really after that, it was semifinals.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him into the booth right now. Are we gonna take? Yeah, Gasaway. Do I need to give him a minute on the specs, or can I just jump him in? Yeah, so we're gonna bring him in. Coming in, guys. Yeah, just make sure the mic's like super close, like how it is for me. But yeah, okay, guys, just tell me how you're feeling right now. Hold it like just go one at a time, like right up in your face. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I don't.
Yeah.
We played out of our minds all day.
Yeah.
This is the best moment of my life.
Easily, just like a huge peaking moment. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Just talk to me about the day. Obviously, a fantastic match there in the finals. I mean, it's hard to say instant classic because I feel like so many matches have been so good. But talk to me about just starting today and the road to get here.
Yeah, we played really well in pool play.
I can hold
well. Defense took a while to get there, but our serving, we weren't getting aced much. We played Will and Tyler.
I remember you didn't love that matchup for the round of 16.
We were a little pissed, but
yeah, that was the 3 win, I think, and that's not the matchup we wanted.
Yeah.
Also, round of 32 went to 3. So we had some trouble right at the start.
Yeah.
And then we locked in a little bit for the next series and from there on out.
Yeah, you had a big match against Bazinga. That one went 3 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was going back and forth. We just happened to be serving just that much better and not the case as much.
Felt really great against that series and
Semis, yeah. And now I'm kind of jumping around, but the end of game 3, I guess I want to go to Dan. Just that point where Max and Gabe stay alive. I think it was 23-22 or 22-21. It's 20-21. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was here, soft touch, and then ran it down.
Jonah. Sure.
And then they're just so good on those. They win like most of the
it seems unfair, and you guys were playing with what looked like a similar style, where you've got. I was saying. Grant's maybe got a similar vibe of Gabe, where you guys are both making a lot of touches, but with the ability to go off with those reverse cuts and such, the way that you are flying around that, diving, getting touches, you guys made some of the same plays, but yeah, why are they winning so many of those points?
Them?
Yeah, what?
They're animals. They're like the best athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have. I felt like they had a little bit better recovery sets every single time. It was right on that. They had more options.
Gabe,
I felt like we had a lot of time.
Gabe did have some crazy ones. Yeah, that's fair.
They knew exactly what we were hitting. They just had to get there.
Yeah.
And we had to just turn and try to make them have a hard play.
So it's 24-23, Dan. What'd you say to Grant right before that last point?
Oh, I said, you're the best one on this net. This is your game to win.
Heck of a teammate. Wow. Yeah.
They proved it.
Yeah. What's up? What's up next for you guys in the Spikeball Tour Series in Round? What are you guys up to?
Me, I have college maths.
Okay.
5-year-old still playing college. And then I have no idea after that.
Okay. How about you, Grant?
We got Raleigh, Chicago with Addison.
Nice.
I think we got a couple others planned, and I'm doing co-ed with Katie.
Nice. And this is both your guys' first pitchers at a Spikeball Tour Series event. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. That's amazing. At like a major challenger level tour stop. Absolutely. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to share? Shout out.
Shout out to Max and Gabe they played insane. Honestly, it felt like we stole that series because they just played so well.
You guys lost game 1, 21-12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not find the receive at all.
Yeah.
And we locked in a little bit better game 2 and game 3, and we weren't getting ace quite as much.
I think it came down to execution, really. Yeah.
And we don't play like featured court that often, so I think we were just in our heads a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. To have the limelight. Yeah.
Our mental game was just so strong. Every point, forget about the last point, the next point. Do as best you can. Do your job.
We made it a point to lock in just constantly throughout. We said, hey, let's forget about that. We're locking in right here, and let's keep playing.
Love it. Yeah. I don't know how much longer Gasser will let me talk to you guys, but I'm loving it. But yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do a little sign up, but thanks so much, guys. Huge congrats again. I'm stoked for me getting to watch you guys play as a treat. But yeah, gonna say goodbye for you guys, and we're gonna be right back with a little outro for the. Oh yeah, we're gonna be right back in 0 seconds. But yeah, good stuff, guys.
Oh my goodness! Great to hear from those guys after that win. You see them still having the hype, still loving it.
I love
you got
that.
their friends watching them live, interviewing on the stream right now. Oh, it's really been a blast.
I'm taking notes on how to be a better teammate. I mean, I can't be a better round net player immediately, but to tell my teammate, hey, you're the best player on this net, let's win this game, I can do that.
That's what you got to do.
You know, even if my teammate doesn't grant Laughlin and I'm maybe lying through my teeth, that's great advice.
It is what it is.
But wow, like I was saying to them, just what a treat. It's hard to call it an instant classic because I guess everything's instant classic these days. Round net,
it's great.
Round net is just
I gotta say,
it's so fun.
When Gabe and Max are on the net, it feels like we hit another level of round net. And you gotta, I know, I'm glad that Dan Abrams, Grant Laughlin gave some shout out to them because I gave some love to them because I really think they do deserve it. Some impressive round net from, everyone here today. We've seen a lot of action here. 100+ teams. We had a lot of teams. Do you know how many teams we've had?
It's like 160 today, I think,
160
right?
plus teams, something ridiculous. We had a great turnout. The fans here were amazing. I want to thank you all for coming out here, and all of you who tuned into the stream as well. A big shout out to all of our amazing sponsors, of course. You got VII Apparel, Protein 2.0, Stewart Spiked, and Hampton Farms. Gotta be a huge shout out to all of those sponsors who made this event possible. And of course, we love coming back to these events, love putting on these events, and clearly this community continues to amaze, and the round net quality continues to increase. I have been Jonah Zwillinger, joined by Ben Dantowitz. We've had a blast commentating for you today, and we'll see you next time. So long.